Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. In this one, I am bringing you into my sewing room for the week, and this is my week in sewing. I'm going to be showing you everything that I'm working on, all my sewing projects that I've got going on, doing some sewing with you, and basically bringing you into my world of creative chaos. I've got lots of exciting things planned for this week because at the beginning of May, me and my fiance are heading for a very exciting mini break. We are going over to Italy, to Sorrento, to see our wedding venue for the very first time, which is huge. It's really exciting, and I want to make some really gorgeous outfits to wear while we're there. So that's the plan for the next week, maybe two. I'll see how I get on. We are only going for 3 days, but I'm already getting quite carried away with how many things I want to make. But we are obviously going out for our wedding in the autumn, so anything that I make that I don't get to wear while we're there now I can wear, so it will get utilised. So even if I manage to get all of these things made, it will get its wear at some point, but I think I'm being a bit optimistic thinking that I'm going to get all of these things done before we go. So it's currently Monday morning, which is normally my admin day for my house and things. I normally do a food shop and cleaning and all sorts, but I'm ignoring all my responsibilities today and doing some sewing while I'm child free for a couple of hours. I've been cutting out some patterns, so I'll show you what I've cut out so far. The first thing I cut out was this pattern here. This is ME2073. I love this two-piece set. It's so gorgeous. And I really love the two pieces just as separates as well. That skirt with the drop waist is stunning. And I got sent this viscose linen from Rainbow Fabrics in a white. And I thought, oh, such a bridal look, real bridal vibes. It'll be so gorgeous if it is hot. So I cut that out as soon as that fabric came out the pre-wash. I was really excited about it. And then the next thing I cut out is this pattern here, ME2067. I'm planning on making view A here, the longer version with the ruffle around the neck and around the skirt, and it's strapless. I was very torn between two fabrics for this pattern. So I put it to an Instagram poll and this fabric was the winner. This is an embroidered cotton lawn that I got from Roy's Material World at the Stitch Festival when we went. I'm obsessed with this, and I think this combination on holiday will be so gorgeous, either during the day or dressed up in the evening. It's just really pretty. And then the last thing I want to cut out this morning is another fabric that I picked up at the Stitch Festival. This is another Rainbow Fabrics one. This is a viscose challis. I'm obsessed with the colours of this. It's so beautiful. I just think these colours on holiday with a tan are just so gorgeous. And I finally decided on a pattern for this because I only got just over 2 meters. So I've decided to do this pattern here, M8252, but I'm going to do view C here, which has got the more simple sleeves because I haven't got quite enough for the kind of dramatic puff sleeves, which is a shame, but I think this is really beautiful. And I've seen quite a few dresses on Revolve that look a bit like this, and they're really cute. I need to cut that out because I haven't even cut the pattern out for that yet. This pattern actually has an invisible zip at the back, but I'm not sure if I might see if I can alter it so it's got an elasticated back, because I'm going to be eating a lot of pasta. So if you're wondering why you can hear lambs in the background, it's because there are lambs in our next door neighbour's garden. They've adopted a couple of baby lambs and they're bottle feeding them at the moment, and they are absolutely adorable, but I think it's feeding time, so they're getting a little bit noisy, so I apologise if you can hear them and they're a bit distracting. So I'm now going to start cutting out this pattern here. I'm going to do the straight size 12 because looking at the shape of the skirt, it flares out quite a bit over the hips. I normally grade out over the hips, but I think it's going to be relatively roomy, so it will be fine. So I'm going to do the 12. So I'm planning on doing view C, which is the one with the little sleeves, but I've only got just over 2 meters of the fabric that I'm planning on using. However, the fabric requirements on here say that it needs 2.3 meters if you're using 150 centimeter wide fabric. And normally they go a bit overboard with the fabric requirements, especially the older McCall's patterns. So I think I should be okay. I'm hoping for the best. If not, I may have to ditch the sleeves. So my top tip for cutting out pattern pieces on paper patterns is cut them out roughly kind of around each piece that you need, then iron them, and then you can cut them out a bit more precisely. It's really frustrating with these tissue paper patterns when you've got a big piece and you're trying to cut out little pieces and keep it neat and everything's creased, and then stuff gets ripped and it just makes it a lot more stressful. So it makes it a lot easier. It is annoying because you're doing 2 lots of cutting, but it only takes a second just to cut out roughly around the bits you need. And then I always iron my pattern pieces because it makes them a little bit more precise. And I am one of those weirdos that really enjoys ironing pattern pieces and fabrics. I don't know why, but it's just one of my favourite parts of the process. I find it so relaxing. So I'm going to do that now. Then I can cut this out, and then I think I'm probably out of time for the morning, so I might have to wait and see you tomorrow. It's a bit later on now, and I've just been trying a new technique and it has changed my life forever. So I have an old rotary cutter, a mini one, and I used that to cut out my paper patterns on my cutting mat, and it took me 10 minutes to cut out the entire paper pattern, probably not even that. So next time you're chucking away a rotary cutter or just the blade, keep it and use it for cutting out your paper patterns, because honestly, I feel like a new woman. It's changed my life. I actually have more fabric left over than I thought I was going to. I thought this was going to be a real squeeze. I've already cut out my front skirt and 1 sleeve, so the rest is I've got to cut out 2 of these pieces and 2 of these pieces kind of flipped over, so I should even have a little bit left over as well. Good morning, it's the next day now. I didn't get much further with the projects last night. I cut out the broderie on glaze dress and ordered something to line that with as well because I couldn't find anything in my stash, and that was as far as I got. So today I'm going to try and be a little bit more productive, although I did do a lot of cutting out, so I think yesterday was a pretty productive day. However, I was having a think about the white Nomi 2-piece set that I initially cut out and planned to make. I think that may be a tad optimistic for the weather over in Italy at the moment. It is warm, it's kind of late teens to early 20s, but I don't think it's going to be warm enough for a literal like bra top and skirt. So I may well put that project on the back burner for a minute and wait until we get to high summer here, because I don't think I'm going to wear it. So I'm thinking of a slightly more realistic option, and a pattern that I've wanted to make for ages is this dress here. This is M8282, and I'm thinking of doing a white version of this dress here, but making it slightly longer so it's more of a maxi. I think that'll be a little bit more suitable, and because the sleeves are elasticated, I can kind of wear them off the shoulder if it does get a bit warm, but I think that will probably be a lot more sensible for the weather forecast in Italy at the moment. So at some point today I will start cutting that pattern out, and that will be another one that I work on. But I think the 3 dresses that I've got planned is probably going to be enough. I do have one final thing that I potentially might make if I have time, but we'll see. So while I wait for linings and things for my other projects to arrive, I'm going to get started on the pink and red dress. I'm really excited about this one. I've been wanting to make this pattern for ages, so I cannot wait to see how it turns out. First up, bias tape. My strips were really short because I didn't have a lot of fabric left. So here's how you create extra long bias tape. Put your strips right sides together and sew from corner to corner. Pull that apart and press, and that will give you a really long strip. Then you need to fold it in half, wrong sides together, and press again. And as easy as that, you get matching bias tape. I do actually have the Simplicity bias tape maker, but if I'm just doing single folded, I tend to just do it with my iron. But for proper bias tape, I always use that bias tape maker machine because it is so easy to use, and also it is so satisfying to watch. So now I need to attach this to the cutouts on the bottom of the bodice. I haven't got a lot of this, so I'm hoping it will do for everything I need it for. If it doesn't, I can't do anything about it because that's all we've got. So just to clarify, on your bodice, you're only binding this edge here, and then this little curved edge here. This big one at the bottom, I assume, is where we're going to have the channel for the ring. So that hasn't got a binding on it. So I'm now going to sew this on. So the next step is creating the keyhole detail at the back neck. So before I get started on this, I'm actually just going to finish this edge, the center edge on my overlocker, so I don't have any raw edges. I'm really not a fan of a raw edge. So I finish everything where I can, even if it's just on the overlocker. So I'm going to do that quickly. I do have to change my overlocker thread, which is really annoying, but I will do it for this dress. So for those of you who never do your notches or your markings, I was you once, and then I learned that they're actually useful. So the marking we put on the back piece, if you're sewing this pattern, this marking here, you now need to sew your back pieces together, stop at that marking, because that is where we're going to double fold under and create the keyhole. So as much as I hate to admit it, markings are really important. The end of an evening and the beginning of a bodice. I really want to keep going with this because I'm on such a roll, but I am so tired, and I know that if I carry on going I will start making silly mistakes and won't feel so good. So I'm going to be sensible and call it a night and get back to this in the morning. It's a couple of days later now. I may be looking a little bit different because I had a bit of a hair glow up yesterday. But since I last spoke to you, I haven't made much more progress on this dress. Last night I clipped the seams on the skirt together and I sewed the sleeves together as well, but that was about it. So today I'm going to try and finish off the skirt and get that attached to the bodice, and then make a decision about the sleeves, because I'm actually really enjoying this sleeveless. I think it looks really nice. So I'm not sure whether or not I want to add them or stick with it sleeveless, but I think when the whole thing comes together it'll be a bit easier to make a decision because it might actually look better with sleeves. I'll see how I feel. But anyway, I need to get the skirt put together because I've only got a few hours today and I really want to try and get this pretty much finished so I can move on to my next project. So let's go. So I've just sewn all my side seams together and run them through the overlocker. I also finished on the overlocker all my raw edges that I have from my skirt pieces where the slit goes at the front and the back centre seam as well. I'm just going to sew in the slit at the front now, but I'm only going to do a little one. Mainly because I like to wear chafing shorts on holiday. If you know, you know. I cannot be without them, and mine are relatively long, so I don't really like a slit in a dress because then you can see my ugly shorts underneath. But honestly, these days, comfort over everything, so I will be wearing my shorts regardless. So the next step in the skirt is to actually add the zip at the back, but I don't have a zip that will match or will work. So I'm going to order some zips now and hopefully they'll arrive in the next day or two. But I'm going to finish the dress aside from that and then just pin it together and check it for fit. And then I can add the zip a little bit later. I should have thought this through really and made the back piece a little bit bigger so I could have elasticated the back. That would have been so lovely and comfortable, but it's too late. Got no more fabric and I can't go back now. Hello, it's Friday. I apologise for my sleepy eyes today. I'm just absolutely shattered. It's been such a busy week, so I'm having a lovely, peaceful sewing day today. I fully intended to baste the ring onto my dress last night, and then I started watching one day, and honestly, I couldn't see through the tears to do any hand sewing because honestly, that was heartbreaking. If you've seen it, what is with that ending? I love a happy ending. I'm trying not to give any spoilers away here, but that ruined me. I just sat there and cried for a good hour afterwards. Destroyed my week. But anyway, I didn't get any further with my dress, so I need to baste the ring in place today. But I did have a couple of fabric deliveries this morning. So I think I mentioned earlier in the week that I wanted to make the McCall's dress that's got the gathered bodice, the puff sleeves, and the longer skirt because of the weather over in Italy at the moment. And I'd ordered some broderie anglaise from Lullabies and it's just arrived. Here it is. I'm in awe. This is beautiful. The quality is amazing. This is the Lily broderie anglaise in pure white. It's beautiful, beautiful quality. It's amazing. I love the embroidery on it. It just adds that extra bit of detail and texture. So that's going in the washing machine straight away so I can get started on that one as soon as possible because I'm very keen to get that ready for my little bridal wardrobe. And then next, I got some swimwear fabric from Fabric Godmother because I was debating whether or not to make a swimsuit for this trip because I wasn't sure what the weather's doing. However, it's getting hotter over there, so we may well be in the pool. There is also an indoor pool and a spa in the hotel, so we may well go for a dip at some point, and I do not have a swim costume that fits me. I tried on a different one that I've got and it was just falling off me, so that's not going to work. Fabric Godmother put up a video of some swimwear fabric on their Instagram and I saw this one and it immediately gave me Zimmermann vibes. I was gagged when I opened the package for this. I haven't properly pulled it out yet. Ooh, oh, this is really nice. The quality is amazing. It's on a bright pink background and then got these really rich blue palm leaves and then kind of all over the fabric but a bit sporadically it's got these beautiful exotic flowers on it. I love this. This is so nice. I did also pick up some swimwear lining fabric but I only got half a metre and I got a metre of this so I don't really know what was going through my head at that point so I may well need to order some more but this is really, really beautiful. I seriously hope I've got time to make a swimsuit out of this before we go. It's really hard to find good swimwear fabric as well, so it was like this was meant to be. But anyway, I'm gonna get on with my dress this afternoon and get the ring basted on now so I can try it on. How nice does this look? I love this. The thing that's a little bit unnerving about this pattern is you can't really try it on until this ring is attached or at least basted, because there's no real way of seeing how the skirt fits or anything. And I've just realized as well that I haven't even tried on my bodice. So that was really silly. I thought I had. My brain is obviously not engaged this week, so I'm just going to try it all on in a oneer after I've sewn this on by hand and hope that it's okay. But I've had to do hand sewing, which is my least favourite thing to do ever, and to do a fair bit of it, so if it doesn't fit, I'm gonna be pissed. I feel like I say this every time I make something new, but this is my new favourite thing I've ever made. I love this. Please excuse my very pasty body. My body hasn't seen the sun for a very long time, so I'm lily white, but look at this. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. This is so gorgeous. I love this. Wow. Just to say, the skirt is a little bit big, so it does keep falling down. So I think it's supposed to sit quite low here. I think that's the vibe, but I'm not sure I would want that. I think I'd maybe want it to sit a little bit higher, just because I'm a bit self-conscious about my postpartum tummy. But this is really nice. I love the cutouts. The skirt is the perfect length. I could have gone a bit higher on that slit actually, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm okay with how it is. But the details, look at the details, this ring. I love the way it kind of gathers the skirt up a little bit, and the bodice too. Now I'm not sure about sleeves, because I'm really feeling this sleeveless. It's really nice. I might pop one on and see what it looks like and go from there. The fit is really good. Like I said, it's a bit big around the waist, and here I think could do with being maybe a little bit tighter. But aside from that, this is perfection. I am over the moon with how this turned out. I cannot wait to wear it in Italy. So I'm just waiting for my invisible zip to arrive, and then I'm going to finish all the hem and the underarms and the neckline and everything like that. I've decided that I'm going to leave it sleeveless. I tried it on with the sleeves and I felt like it kind of ruined it a bit for me. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I think it's perfect how it is. I just need that zip to arrive so I can get it done. I was really hoping it would come today so I could finish it. So that's a little bit annoying. So I'm going to move on to the Nomi dress that I cut out earlier this week now. I managed to get some lining off my mum, so I can get started on that. But I think I'm going to split this vlog into 2 parts, because otherwise it's going to be really long. So I will check back in with you next week and continue on creating my Italian wardrobe. So stay tuned for part 2 of the video. Thank you so much for watching part 1. I really hope you enjoyed joining me for my week in sewing. I will see you next week for part 2. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.